Take it, bitches.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Bullets, Barbells, and Barbecue. It's me, your host, Brett. I got Matt with me. Tanner's back. And unfortunately, Mike's back.
I'm still alive. Tanner took my place, and he's doing swimmingly.
Swimmingly. And you got to use the new keyboard there.
Right.
Yeah, because of the sadness.
Yeah.
Right away, baby.
And then when we get done and he's going to leave, we'll play the applause button.
Oh, you guys are great friends of mine. One of my
Right?
favorites. Yeah.
Nothing but support.
Yeah.
So you moved to Texas.
I did move to Texas
So if Texas is so great, why are you back already? Obviously.
because of work, and I'm trying to sell things to make sure I can stay in Texas.
How was Texas?
Like plasma?
It is really nice. Wouldn't you like to know?
Some plasma.
Plasma rifles. We'll talk about that later. The bullets part. It's been really great. We have 10 acres and building a home. We are in a tiny rental right now, which is miserable, and I feel very poor.
Oh, so like Derek.
Yeah. Damn, that's a burn already. However, having a place to be outside and there's animals out there and being able to shoot whenever you want to is very freeing. Like it's a piece of the world that it's just different than just having just a house in a neighborhood. Like you feel like you really own a part of the planet in a strange way.
I'm a huge fan of owning land, obviously, but I still find that concept strange.
What?
Like
Which part?
buying land. Like you own this land.
Oh, like it's just
Well,
It's,
technically, you never do because you're
Well,
paying property tax.
I mean, you're paying like,
freaking everything.
some kind of rent for it, but like it's yours, right? And you can say, no, you can be here. No, you can't be here. But at some point, like there was nobody there and someone was like, this is mine.
I wish I
I'll
was
sell it to
around
you.
during those days so I could pick my land.
that was just all you had to do was put a fence and you're like, this is me.
Yeah.
The
know?
area
Yeah.
that we're in was homesteaded when they've been like the late 1800s, early 1800s, when they did a lot of that homesteading stuff. And some of the families still there where you came and you had like a flag and you'd stick it in the ground.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's
And then you
pretty
got like your whatever your plot, like your 300 some acres. And they just 4 years ago they finally condemned and like did a controlled burn on the original farmstead house that was out there.
That's really cool.
So it's kind of cool for that, but
Yeah, it's been an experience. You know, we don't own the horses. They're our neighbors. We have 5 horses on the property, though.
can you
And-
ride them?
Yeah, every single one of them, and they're gorgeous.
Do you have to like catch them to jump on them or like?
No, they're pretty chill. 2 of them are they're considered French war horses, and if you look it up, it's like a Percheron or something like that. I'm not.
Aren't those super big?
They're bigger than a Clydesdale.
Yes, I saw some of those at the Iowa State Fair, and they
So
are
the funny, yeah, they're huge. The funny thing is our friends are good friends with Robert Oberst, and he's done photo shoots on them wearing like armor and stuff. So he's a 400-pound man with 150 pounds of armor, and he can ride this horse just fine. So they're huge.
So are you going to get one and some armor?
Yes,
Are you guys gonna joust?
I would love to. Have you ever been to the medieval times?
No.
Like the thing down in like Florida where you,
Yeah.
they
Like
give
in
you,
time travel or like
Like the
talking about the
restaurant,
restaurant?
and they can
Lawrence.
actually,
Yeah.
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 It's amazing. So the whole horse thing, I generally like them, but I don't think that I was ever super. There's a fly right there. I was ever really excited about horses until we were around them, because they are dinosaurs. They are huge, and they're so practical when you think of having land and just kind of being just very, I don't know, I have a medieval feeling around being around horses. It's kind of nerdy, but my wife is really good.
But
with
you
them.
also LARPed when you were younger.
Never LARPed, but I play RPG video games. Very masculine ones.
I think we should LARP.
You did.
You did do
LARP.
this.
No, I did the.
Have you ever talked about that on
the
this?
armored combat league?
That's
stuff.
LARPing.
That's better than LARPing.
It's murder.
You can actually
as
hurt
LARPing,
people.
dude.
LARPing, like you have to have foam. This stuff was just non-sharpened steel weapons.
I do want to talk about that later
Yeah, so
on
fun.
this, because what you
So
did
fun.
is your style of fighting, and you killed like the most famous guy on the planet in the U.S. or something like that. It was a great story.
At least in Bellevue.
That's the same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bellevue's
it's
so
basically,
big.
it's basically the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
But he was the guy.
All
and
right, why are we having to get back to this? What the fuck did you do?
I don't know. 'Cause we were going to transition. If we're done with land, I'm good.
Mike bought land and there's horses. Now to Matt LARPing.
So
Which, hold on, if nobody knows what LARPing is, because you shouldn't, it's live action role playing.
Because you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like lightning bolt.
So
lightning bolt.
LARPing, if
Remember
you guys
that?
have seen
Like
role models.
if you see all the nerds out in the
Yeah.
park sometime.
Yeah.
like the movie
with costumes on.
Yeah, the movie role models where they show up and they do
Hilarious.
that, right? Funny movie. So
Yeah.
they do a thing, which actually John did the Armored Combat League stuff for a while.
John Hansen.
John Hansen.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's
either.
terrifying.
Not at all. Right? That would be super terrifying. So my brother calls me up one day and he's like, "Hey man, have you heard of Armored Combat League?" And I'm like, "No, that sounds nerdy." And he's like, "It is, but you get to wear like full plate mail armor, and you use doled weapons. So you'll have like a broadsword with a dull edge and a shield, and you just smash on people and try to knock them down. And
There's like a point system and,
there,
whatnot.
there's a national thing. And there's like point systems for like headshots and knockdowns and stuff
How
like
heavy? How heavy is that sword?
that. I don't know.
I think in the league
Probably
it's
like 4 or
pronounced
5 pounds.
sword.
Sword.
But
I mean, they're meaty. But so I go to this. So my brother's telling me about this, and I'm like, sure, okay. And he's like, all right, man. Well, there's a team in Omaha, and they practice on these nights, and I'm gonna go out there and check it out. You want to go? I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it, man. I think it was the Omaha Ravens, maybe something like that.
They
So
have
anyways,
fucking team names.
oh,
Yeah.
dude, when he told me this,
so I mean, they
we
have
got
like,
on the
they have
calendar
like a
and we're looking at
full-blown
everything.
facility out.
I mean, I'm
in
talking shit,
New
but I'm
England.
actually interested.
no, it's amazing.
So like out in New England, they have like a full blown training facility, and this is like what these people do, and they travel around the country and they do this stuff. There's international competitions, like it's kind of a big thing, and they tried to make it a big thing here. So this guy in Bellevue,
Just couldn't stick.
yeah. So this guy in Bellevue had a team going. He was also did like blacksmithing, so he made weapons for the people who did the competitions, and he did some armor repair. I think he could do some basic armor maintenance and like creation, but he didn't like make the full plate mail stuff. So he had started this team. I don't know how my brother found out about it, but he invites me out there, and I was like, sure, okay. And so we go out there, and we're kind of talking to me, and they're showing me like the stuff that they have, and like talking about some of the practice stuff that they have, and like the practice that they did was nothing but just tomfoolery. Like it was just fucking stupid. And so I was like, yeah, sure, this is super interesting. And they're like, all right, cool, yeah, hey, great, man. And so we do some of the stuff where they use like it was like a light wooden stick wrapped in like a pool noodle, and that was like the sword. And so we did some stuff like that, and I was like, this is stupid. Like, give me the fucking real sword and let's do this. And so we did that. I did that for like a couple nights where we did that, and then it was like some week they were getting ready to go travel. So anyways, they wanted like live practice, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do this thing. So they weren't the full weapons from that you'd use for like wearing steel plate, because like we didn't have that on, but we had like they had what looked like martial arts kind of like armor, like the foam shin guards and foam shoulder pads, like helmets and stuff. And I showed up with like 4 sweatshirts and a hockey helmet.
yeah, but the other thing too is these guys are all nerds, and they're 110 pounds.
Yeah. And so they're all ready for it, and I'm just like, all right, this is fine. It'll be over before you guys can do any damage.
And your team's name was Raven.
Yeah.
Were they Omaha barbell hoodies? Probably one of them.
Maybe. I don't know. Good question though. One of them had an actual hood. The others were just sweatshirts that wore the hood
be
under
safe,
the helmet,
yeah.
right? Because I needed some kind of padding. So we go there, and they're doing some like sparring stuff and there's some like warm up shit. And I think my brother fought someone first, and he got smoked because he's a heavy smoker and has like zero cardio conditioning.
And also, if no one knows, Matt's brother is like half the size of him.
Yeah, he's like 3 inches shorter than me, blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah, easily 100 pounds less than me, if not more. So like, not really.
Not the dream LARPer.
Right. No, he is the dream LARPer. He's not the dream
assassin.
combat
Well,
guy.
you walk in there, I feel like it's like Thor in Game of Thrones. Like that's the guy now.
That's the mount.
That's the dude.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. So let's do this thing. And so I'm asking him, I was like, hey, so can I do I have to have the shield in my left hand? Can I put it whatever hand I want? Because they give you like I don't know, probably a 12 or 15 inch wooden circle shield. And they're like, no, you can do it. Can I punch with it? Like, yeah, you can hit with it. And I was like, fuck yeah, cool. So I hold this, I think it was a sword in my left hand, and I have the shield in my right hand. So it's laying like flat, parallel to my arm. So just sticking out over my knuckles is just this nice wooden edge, right? And they're like, are you left-handed? I go, no. They go, well, you should hold the sword in your right arm. I'm like, I'm good. And so we get out there and I go against, I don't know, like they paired me up against the kind of starting from like the worst maybe to the best. And so this fat dude comes out and he takes a swing and I don't even try to block it. I just fucking take his shot on my shoulder and just punch him right in the solar plex with the edge of the shield. And you just hear like, whoa! And he just fucking drops to the ground. I'm like, cool, who's next? And they're like, well.
Where'd you learn to fight?
Yeah, they're like, well, I mean, that's not against the rules, right? You said I could punch with that. And they're like, yeah, I mean, you get points for that. And I was like, yeah, but he's on the ground, so that means I won the match. I don't need points, right? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. So then
This is like playing dodgeball with a bunch of kindergartners.
yeah, it's just great.
This is great.
Yeah, so then they had, and then the next time, so they had one other guy come out and pretty much did the same thing to him. I punched him in the head. I don't know if I got his neck or his face or something, but anyways, he was like, oh no, and he went down. And so that was me knocking two of them out. And then they're like, all right, well, we'll do teams. So like you and your brother against like the head guy and one of his other dudes.
The head guy.
Yeah, and I was like,
The head
ooh.
warper?
Yeah, I was like,
Or the
ooh, the
armor
the,
combat?
yeah, the guy,
Was like
the guy who's kind of
was like the
together.
badass guy or whatever they called him. Was he in shape? Did he?
Yeah, I mean, he was in shape. I think he at least trained some MMA,
Oh, okay.
and like he looked like he was somewhat physically fit. I mean, he had not dreads, but like cornrows almost, with like the beads that come off the back. He was white, dude.
So not as lean and athletic as you.
No, he was not nearly the athletic specimen as me. So anyway, so my brother and him are out there, and like I just kind of wanted to see, okay, like if we pretended to like really fight, what's this like? And so we're going. My brother runs out of gas, and so he gets taken out. And I'm like, all right, cool. So it's me and you guys. And so we do a little bit, and I think I pretty much just like pushed him over. Like I didn't hit him really hard, mostly because like I want to keep doing this, and I know if I punch you guys really, really hard, you'll quit. So I'm just gonna like knock you guys down, and we'll keep going. So we took out those two, and then it was some other guys. Either some other guys showed up, or it was just my brother versus those four. My brother and I versus those four. I don't remember exactly, but it ends up with me versus three of them, and I'm like, cool. So I have my sword in my left hand and my shield in my right hand. And the same strategy, the same fat dude comes up to me and he takes a swing and I just take it on the shoulder and just fucking blast him in the solar plex again, and you hear that, whoa, and down he goes. And I turn around and I try to like punch one of the other guys, but I miss him, and so I grab his collar and I just start pommel striking him in the face with the sword until he goes down.
They've never seen anything like it.
And then the other guy, the main guy, comes in and hits me a couple times, and I was like, "Ow, that really fucking hurts." So I'm hitting him with the sword, just like kind of distract him until I get close enough. And then just with everything I have, just punch him right in the fucking face with the edge of the shield. And it like caves in his little hockey mask or his little hockey face shield thing until it like hits his nose. He's got like blood coming down. And then he's down, and I was like, cool, so do I win?
Did you say Raven Nevermore?
You know, when he was telling me this story, we were in the gym and we were talking about this, and I got on my phone and I was looking at like the league, and there was like a calendar for events. And they had practice times and like a ranking structure.
And they had like an asterisk that says Matt is not welcome anymore.
Right.
They didn't
That's
invite
what-
me back. Like they just stopped returning my phone calls.
they didn't. But
It was weird.
there was
I
a
don't know
way
why.
to create a team. So we never committed to this, but I was like, I will sponsor everything. I would love to see you win this whole thing. Get like a couple flights in there to go like win the Northeast, go to Boston, knock somebody out. I am getting Mike Pence by this fly right now. It is. Will you kill this thing? You're so good at it. So we were looking around, and it's so cost effective to be in that sport because in your case, you don't have to buy gear. You just show up and punch them in the throat with a shield. I can afford a shield.
Right. I mean, if we were to do like the real deal thing, I might want a real helmet.
Well,
Like,
they have another level of this, by the way. It's
with
Europe.
sharp edges.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
right.
And they actually have it in San Antonio, or they did a few years ago. But it's pretty popular. It's in a cage and everything. So if you have like a mace, it's like a wooden ball instead of like something that'll kill you. But if it like you lose control, it doesn't hit the crowd.
Yeah.
So there's legitimate fighting in an octagon with
Yeah.
armor and dude, it's fucking.
Because they
rad.
have like weight limits on the implements, and then if it implements over a certain, like the handle's over a certain length, it has to be within a certain weight limit and stuff. Because my first question was like, can you just use a war hammer? Thinking like, just give me a big fucking hammer that'll just crush through
When
any
do,
kind of
when
metal.
do I learn spells?
Right. Just give me something really heavy that I only have to swing a couple times and just fucking break your spine. And they're like, no, you can't have that. I was like, all right.
So
cool.
that's basically strongman for MMA.
Yeah, so it was super cool. I'm sure it's a lot more challenging when you actually wear like the armor and you're fighting.
Yeah,
that
moving
way.
would suck.
And maybe you're fighting like people your size.
Right, and I don't know if they have. I don't think they have weight classes.
They
I
did
think
back
if
in the
you
day with you on the
traveled-
battlefield.
I think if you travel the country, though, you're going to eventually run into someone who's like real good at this.
I'm just saying, like Brian Shaw's done with strongman.
Oh, word. Yeah.
well, so
Nice.
Give him a fucking pull axe and just start fucking mashing people.
all those guys, Oberst.
Yeah. He's acting now. You have to watch Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah, he can LARP then. That's live action role playing.
Yeah, he'd be great at it.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you get invited to go do something like that, just know like you can punch with the edge of your shield and it's a way more effective weapon.
I'm gonna be looking for that invite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you the LARPing story about one of the trainers that works for me next door. They
think so.
he had this client of his that was just like an over the top, just like fucking nerd, and he was like, "Hey, I can't train on Saturday," and he's like, "Oh, why?" He's like, "Oh, I'm LARPing,"
I'm defending the kingdom of Nazaroth.
and he goes, and the trainer was like, "Oh, like you found a group here?" He's like, "No, I still LARP with the group from where I'm from. I just do it online."
Whoa.
I was like, "How do you LARP online?"
That might be one
Was
of the
it a COVID
saddest things
LARP
I've
or
ever
like
heard.
before
No, this was
COVID?
way before COVID. I'm like, how do you LARP online? Oh, no, you didn't hit me. I'm the king.
Called
What?
EverQuest 97.
Like, yeah, he's like, oh, I have to LARP it.
EQ 99,
I have to
baby.
LARP. And I was
99,
just
there we
like-
go.
I was like, you have some weird fucking people, dude.
Dude, that's like
That's kind of sad, actually.
really sad.
I mean, it's like live action. You're like, let me dial in real
So
quick.
here's something that's kind of disturbing. We were in the first house here in Omaha. We're driving into the neighborhood,
right.
and there was like a little green belt in front of the neighborhood, right? Like this really nice landscaped spot. And I started seeing banners and like flags in the grass that were like tabards, like guild tabards for kings and whatnot. And we're driving by that. It's a medieval term, okay?
I was just,
So it's if you read a book, you figure what this
You know,
is.
you're gonna
What
say
did
if you
you
played EverQuest.
It was. I almost did. But as we're driving down the road, I start seeing this stuff. I was like, oh, is there like a farmer's market or something? Right? I didn't know. But then I start seeing guys with like pikes and armor, and I'm like, this is real right now. These guys are just.
And you've got horses though. You could fucking
No,
just
no, no,
come
no. This
roll-
wasn't there. This
I know,
was
but
here.
now, like,
Oh,
just
I
take
know.
those horses to a LARPing thing and just start fucking running through the middle.
They
of
would
them.
be on their knees bowing. So we drive through there, and they're taking a break. I guess you need a break from that because it's strenuous.
It's hard.
so were they doing the same thing Matt was, or were they just doing LARPing?
They were just
LARPing.
LARPing. They weren't
Like the
fighting,
phone
right?
stuff.
with pool noodles
But
and duct tape.
But they did have what was hilarious is that I had to drive down the road that they were trying to kind of block, and I drove really slow and watched this whole thing. So they all had like wives and girlfriends that were just sitting there getting hammered in the driveway of the home. But the funny thing that I saw was like the main guy that was all like LARPed out with like the real shit on, like all the plate mail and stuff. In his garage, he had a Bowflex and a punching bag. I was like, that dude's fucking for real. Right now.
I feel bad for his wife.
I know. Dude, I was like, at least he's
how
like
do you-
trying to figure out.
How do you let that king come home every night like that?
Yeah, dude, that shit's real, man. They used to have it at that park near UNO too, all the time. Memorial, is it Memorial Park?
Yeah.
There's huge ones out there.
What do you think is weirder, that or when you're at like an event somewhere and a bunch of people show up dressed up as stormtroopers?
LARPing.
LARPing's way weirder.
Yeah.
I can respect stormtroopers with the real shit. That's faster.
They're both odd.
I think like even
Like, who
having
just is like, hey, you know what? Let's all go put our stormtrooper shit on.
yeah, like even having a Nerf gun war is better than LARPing because LARPing is just there's spells.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if could you be a sorcerer and
Just stay home and play
can.
Diablo.
No, you cannot do this in LARPing. I mean, not LARPing, but the fighting one, the real one.
I mean, you could try to cast spells in there. I don't know. Protection spells, smash. I don't know. They work.
Dude, do like Bloodsport, where you throw the shit in their eyes. Spell.
You're just walking around with shredded fiberglass. Pah, blind.
God.
Yeah.
This is a blind spell.
Yeah.
That's awful. But Matt bought a new gun, so let's talk about something
Yeah.
that's actually real.
Yeah. Those will actually kill you. You know that, right?
Yeah, those, you don't need magic or anything.
No.
No. I pulled the trigger on the Palmetto State 5.7 by 28.
Did you shoot that before you bought it?
Nope.
So you just
I knew
looking
I
around.
wanted that caliber.
I'm gonna murder this
gun.
fly with your gun right now.
I hope so.
Get out of here. It's fine.
It's.
It doesn't bother me.
I feel.
bad.
What's on my
Yeah,
mouth?
it's because you
I'm
smell
s-
like Texas shit over there.
Flies
Smell
on
that
fire
like the
horse shit.
ranch.
Yeah, you're a real ranch hand. Jeff.
Now I am.
Job.
Oh, that nice.
Uh-huh.
I got a ranch hand job for you.
Yeah. Dude, the 5.7's a pretty sweet fucking round. I have the FN 5.7.
I really like the ballistics of it and what
That
you
was the
can do
one
with
that they
it and the
quote
capacity.
unquote called the cop killer back in the day.
Yep.
Wasn't there like a ban or something on that at one time?
They were trying to because like it's the size of your Glock 17, like your regular full size.
But shoots at
pistol.
223.
But it shoots
Right.
it shoots a 223 super fucking fast, and
It goes through Kevlar.
the Palmetto State version in particular has a 23 round magazine.
Ooh.
So you're
Isn't
23
the
plus
FN
one.
5.7 only 7 rounds?
No, they're 20.
No, that's like a 20 or 22
Oh, okay.
or whatever. it
Yeah,
is.
they're 20. I think is it Springfield that just came out with one? Springfield and Ruger, I think, are both 20, and Palmetto State's 23.
You know, you can't take those to most ranges to shoot steel because they'll just pierce the steel and you'll ruin all their shit. So
That must be some thin steel because we've shot mine at your place.
Yeah, I mean, I've shot an AR against.
Well,
like
I
the
don't know what the
half-inch.
limit is, I guess, and the thickness, but
Because the thing is, you don't have. I think which was stupid, they called them cop killers. I mean, that's got to be a real precise shot. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it'll like blast through. So like when you look at
But I think your range has to be close because the thing with those two is they start to tumble in the air after
Right.
so far. So because they get so. I mean, it's obviously going to have a.
yeah, but I
rotation.
mean for most
still doing some serious damage.
most pistol distances that you're going to be shooting, like it goes through stuff because it's going so fast. Like I think if you look at, I have to double check, but is it like the 3A is most handgun and like 3A plus is up to like a 44 Magnum. But I think unless you have hard plate in combination with like a soft plate, the 5.7 round will go through it because it's just traveling so fast.
Let me change directions slightly about body armor. Do you guys own body armor?
Not yet. I've really been eyeballing some.
Me too. And I don't know.
I just work out a lot.
I drink
I
body
get
armors.
it. I get it. Yeah.
Do you not see that specimen over there, Mike?
I know. I saw him.
This shit doesn't happen overnight.
He was conditioning today, and he looked like majestic. He's crushing it.
Yeah.
By the way, I traveled all this way to get a 5-pound bench PR.
So you're at what, 230 now?
235. 355.
Did you listen to it a couple weeks ago when we found out that Tanner's the worst bencher in here next to Chris?
Oh yeah. You know what? I was.
But now that you're here, I moved up.
No, he just took Chris's place.
Yeah. Well, no, now I'm like 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like I'm like.
No, he's right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me out, Mike.
When's your next bench sesh? I'll do it again tomorrow. Back-to-back days, PRs all day, every day.
I mean, I can outbench you tomorrow if you'd like.
Yeah.
I train today, so I won't even try. I'm being safe.
Oh, first he said he would do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm
now
just
he's like,
kidding. There's no way.
"Oh."
Yeah, I've seen you miss 445 a lot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I saw it a bunch of times that same day.
Yeah.
You did a good job. I can miss that too. I can miss more of that. Is that a win?
I'm not sure if your PR is 90 pounds under what they missed. If they,
I can easily miss 455.
I bet he can lower 455.
oh, you can miss for yeah.
Yeah.
But would you
Well,
miss
yeah,
it?
we talked.
Would
I
you
can,
miss it as
I can
well?
lower 1,000.
What I'm not going to do.
If you want to try to lower a 1,000-pound bench, we can stop and I'll load it up right now.
Yeah, see you guys. We're out. But that was awesome. The community in the gym that I'm able to get access to in Texas is nothing like here. I've been to a lot of. It's a good gym. Actually, there's a ton of strongman equipment in there. You have access to everything. Every sport can exist in there, right?
Armored Combat League.
They probably would put something together for you.
Perfect.
The reality is, though, that all of these gyms, and I was sending you a picture of the gym that I was in Atlanta a couple weeks ago, right? It was kind of like the starting strength-esque type gym, just a bunch of squat racks and like the whole certified whatever.
Good Lord.
I know. I hate it, right? But everyone's just a mirror image of each other doing the same thing. Make sure you look down when you squat. Make sure you do the shit with your Olympic shoes. Like,
Let's
whatever.
see if we can fuck up our backs and our necks.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, no matter where, the idea is getting stronger, right? All these places, regardless, right? They're trying to figure that out. But the community is just not there like it is here. Like, there is certainly a brotherhood when you come into this gym. big time. You know, and we give each other shit all the time, but we've all improved off of giving each other shit, you know, and in one way or another, right?
Oh yeah.
And when you know, you and I have competed, I don't know, it's 2 years ago, probably now, but getting ready for a contest and go and do that together, it's just like it's fun to get prepared for that.
Yeah.
And then showing up with our families and stuff, and you know, it's
Well,
just,
you helped
yeah,
me get ready for my first nationals.
your deadlift.
Yep.
And I'm not even a better deadlifter than you. But I saw what you were doing about what you were punishing yourself as you were getting ready for it, and it was pretty simple coaching, honestly.
Well, I'm more of the more is always better. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't bench it.
Yeah, who's your regulator now?
So you just bench 5 times a week then,
Right.
Duh.
Just up the G's.
Some
bro.
is good.
Just keep going.
And the older you get, that's a great plan.
It really does help.
Yeah, nothing could go bad the older you get. Just benching heavy every single
Actually,
day.
it was Tom. Tom's my regulator now. Tom.
But he's smarter than me, so he does a bunch of scientific stuff, and I'm like, that's cool.
Tom is very smart.
Tom is ridiculously smart, and he everything he does, if you ask him why, or if you're doing something, he can explain it, except log.
Has that not gotten too much better yet? He's getting there.
It's the one thing. It's actually funny when he does it because he's good at everything. If you see the guy do pull-ups, I think I've seen him do 25 pull-ups in a row, strict, without breaking pace.
Yeah.
Just up and down.
He was also a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
So he has to.
Oh, he's an athlete.
Yeah.
He is.
They're the worst.
I think
pretty
he could have been
strong.
a dual sport. I think he could have been a mathlete too. He's pretty smart.
Yeah, he's
He's a pretty smart dude though.
Yeah, I mean, but really the camaraderie and everything. And it's not because I've known you guys for a while either. I mean, you got new people in the gym come in here. It's the same thing. It's the same feeling, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's helping each other out. These other gyms, there's just so much. I was joking earlier today because there was a tripod stand behind the desk. I was like, I want to extend it out and break it over my knee. I'm tired of these fucking things. Because at the gym that I've been going to, I know there's a rhyme and reason to record your shit and all that stuff, and I'm not. But
Sometimes.
yeah, sometimes.
Well,
But my point is though that there was a dude that was running, and I won't name his name and whatever, but he's apparently Instagram famous, and he's a very average novice strongman, right?
Here or there?
Texas. And
well, I mean, compared to us,
Right.
duh.
oh yeah.
Yeah, the bar is completely different comparing us to them.
So this guy has a tripod. He's running a yoke, which was under 400 pounds. I don't know what the deal was. He had a tripod up recording one way, and then he gives somebody else, this random guy, a phone and says, "Hey, I need you to record me doing the yoke from behind me." And the guy's like, "You have a camera going already?" He's like, "Well, I'm doing it because I want you to follow me, and then I'm gonna drop the yoke and turn around and flex, and then you can stop recording." And I was like,
Did the guy say no?
No, he fucking did it.
What a pussy.
I couldn't. I'm just the whole time. So now,
Okay, if that guy asks you to do it, what I need you to do is say yes. Then flip the thing around and just talk shit the entire time.
I will. I can't stand it, dude.
Sorry,
I'm
hit
so
the wrong
sick
button.
of it.
Sorry, I don't know these phone things.
I don't understand.
From Nebraska.
Do you actually really care about training? Do you? I mean, or is this just part of your?
I will say that
you
the 3 youngsters that come in here in the morning, they're all good kids, but they all had their tripod set up yesterday or the other day. I was like, "Are you guys back here recording gym porn? What is happening here?"
Nice lighting,
But
nice
they, I mean,
angles.
Were they
but
all
once
using
again, they're
different
here,
racks,
so
too?
you can talk shit to them, and they're not little
Oh
babies.
yeah,
about it.
right. Oh yeah.
Remote
It's a
LARPing.
different thing, man.
Yeah, remote LARPing.
God, that's one of the saddest things I've ever heard. Jesus, man. You're already in a
It
rough
is so
place.
strange. It really is.
Yeah.
I just don't know how if you're dating a girl, how you first break that to them. Hey, we can't hang out this weekend. I got a thing.
No cuddling.
Like,
Oh, what's that? It's called LARPing.
I'm going out with the boys. All right.
Do you think it's
You tell your wife
Mike's
that probably
gym friend?
4 days a week. Not you, him.
Say what?
So you probably say that same thing to your wife 4 days a week. Sorry, honey, I can't.
I got a raid
We
tonight.
got a raid. I talked
Oh,
to
yeah.
the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're just nerding.
It's
on-
video games, yeah.
Same thing on
Different.
computer. Yeah.
Yeah, but I could bury that.
But I guess there's a bunch of cosplay girls, so maybe the cosplay girls are dresses up as the
man of the
wench or
relationship.
something.
Yeah. What were we gonna ask?
Oh, maybe it was your friend at the gym, the remote LARPing. You
Yeah.
just like FaceTime. Like, hey buddy, can you like FaceTime
You go
me in?
LARP for me.
Can you FaceTime,
fucking, like,
FaceTime
GoPro?
me in? Yeah, like, GoPro.
Yeah.
Like you got to kill us both.
Double kill.
Of Android. Oh God. Yeah, that dude. It's a weird thing. I'm just really tired of it. I don't know if it's just I just have so much fun not being around that and just putting in headphones and training by myself. Right. I
It seems like a lot of work.
I don't know. I mean, I think. I honestly, it's just the freaking age, right? Like if 20 years ago there were phones, like when I was,
probably, yeah.
when I was their age, like I had a beeper. So
oh, you're selling drugs. Hey.
911 at the end of it. You could say like boobless on it.
Man, that was good. Yeah, you're probably right.
No
might-
one
it might
under
be the-
no one under 35 even knows what I mean when I said that, but
probably it probably is the age thing, but I'm just not that I'm like an amazing athlete and I think I'm just
we know.
yeah, whatever. But I'm just irritated. Like I enjoy doing this shit, and it's just kind of in my way when I see it. It kind of bothers me.
Just fucking change the culture.
Right. Like there's probably a time and a place. Like if you have a coach that you're working with and they want to see like your top set and be like, hey, you need to go up or you need to just like call it.
I mean, I do.
Cool.
Right. I record.
But no one wants to see your fucking warm up sets.
No.
Like nobody.
How long are your videos for Clint, generally speaking?
They were a little bit longer, but I've gotten down to like 3 or 4 minutes.
He says under 3 minutes.
Well, my first one was like 15.
Oh boy.
He didn't watch it.
How long?
It was like 15 minutes of stuff, but he told me he did not tell me what to record, so I just recorded my top sets. And then he had me do something for like 10 fucking minutes. I was like, I don't know, do you want it?
He sent me a picture. Can you like upload pictures into the video? So if anybody's curious what it looks like, you could add it to it.
I could try.
So I have a picture.
We'll have our tech guy look into it.
Yeah. He's out of town.
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind.
We need a fucking baby.
We used to have
X.
one. Yeah, Coach X.
Yeah.
So he sends
Coach X
me.
did nothing.
So Clint trains stones like once or twice a week or whatever, right? I couldn't really tell you the exact amount.
Clint
but they're-
Darden, by the way.
Clint Darden, yes, and they're always at like midnight because his situation with the kids and everything and putting people to bed and whatnot, whatever. But he'll train at midnight, so he'll send me a picture, and you've probably seen his stuff on Instagram or whatever lately. He's got some tequila out there and he's got a couple beers and stuff.
He's like taking shots and
It
drinking
was
beers.
aggressive. What he sent me the other day, he was like, I was doing stones and I brought this out and all of a sudden it was 3 a.m. And I'm like, damn. But he's been doing like every minute on the minute, like hour-long loading stones.
It's called the Power Hour, man.
And
And then he's
just
drinking in between.
I mean, and it's not just like I had a couple sips. I mean, you squatted drunk 600 once.
I've had
You drunk squatted 600?
No. But
What? Yeah, it was.
I didn't squat 600.
What was it?
607.
No, it was like 5 something, but I wasn't drunk. I had a few drinks.
I mean,
That's what I told the
yeah,
cop,
okay,
too.
that's a
Same
yeah.
thing I told him.
So,
I'm not
it's
drunk.
something. It's something
I'm not
that
drunk. I just rolled the forward.
I wouldn't have put.
Did you feel the
I
earthquake?
wouldn't have like drank and then squatted, and he was just like, "Yeah, I feel pretty good."
It takes away all your inhibitions. You're not worried
I
about
mean, yeah, it's true.
Right.
Yeah, whiskey's different though. That'll give you actual strength. Do you even drink? Really?
Yeah, occasionally.
What's that mean?
I'll drink a Moscow Mule.
Do you want some of my drinking? I have too much.
That is true. The four-wheeler went over.
I only drink if I'm going to catch a buzz. Like I don't see the point if I'm not going to get.
Same.
Yeah.
Just chasing the dragon, bro. Yeah, no, it's just it's kind of funny. Though.
I'm not going to sit down and have a drink. Like if I'm going to drink, like
There's a purpose for you to do it.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about the reason I even brought it up is because he's having fun training.
yeah.
And he's just enjoying every bit of just being strong and being alive and just having a good time. And I think that's super cool. Like it's not a, I'm a badass because I drink and can load stones. He's just having a good time. And I just think I want to see more of that. I want to see people just having a good time training.
Well, we all know, well, maybe not everybody, but especially Matt and I know a guy who's one of the best lifters I've ever watched. And if he doesn't have something to train for, he won't train. And that's sad because he's a good dude to have in the gym. But if he doesn't have something to train for, he won't train. And so he had like an injury, so he couldn't train. And then you just haven't seen him.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, you just got to have fun with it. I mean, it's like Dave Tollefson said in one of our podcasts, and it's kind of a cool line, but it's like eventually everyone gets cut.
Yep.
right? Like you're saying on the NFL, you know,
Yeah.
eventually everyone gets cut.
But some
Whether
people
you're Joe Montana or Jerry Rice,
Right.
you know what I mean?
People must
Eventually-
buckle down and just work through it. Listen to a podcast that actually Steffi Cohn was on, and she got to talking about how she was doing powerlifting. She did a bunch of stuff. She was a really, really good soccer player, and then went to Olympic lifting, and then went into powerlifting, and was like really good at powerlifting. And she started like breaking world records. And she was like, I really don't like training for powerlifting, but like I'm really good at it, and I'm setting records, and I should see like how far I can push this. So like the last 2 or 3 years of her powerlifting career, people like she talked about how she like did not enjoy training. It was like a real job that she had to do, but she had this goal of seeing like how far can I go and how good can I do it. Now most of us are not that.
I'm actually scared that if I ever like stopped, that I wouldn't start again.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still have it where if I don't lift for a while, I could be burnt out, and if I don't lift for a while, I start to miss it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that you can't always like Mike said, joking, like chasing the dragon. You can't always, because eventually the dragon will be completely out of reach. So you need to have fun with it. And you know what? Like if you don't, like you were saying with Steffi, if you don't like that style of training, if you're not, the best part is if you're not training for something, you can do whatever the fuck you want to.
For real. Yeah.
Like that's all I've been doing
Yeah.
lately. I just do like whatever the fuck I want to. It
Even
doesn't
freaking
matter to
shoulder
me.
press every day.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier. I truly made a comment. I was like, hey, he looks like he's a little bit leaner, like more in shape, right? Brett does.
I think he's lost vision since he's left. But
No, but I mean, come to find out, he's been doing conditioning during the week and has changed some of his style of lifting temporarily to the higher rep stuff, right? But what you're going to probably find, like we all do, is if you like fuck around with bodybuilding for like 3 months, it's just like really boring to me personally. And I'd never,
it'll bounce you back to where you want to be.
yeah, but like you can have some fun and take a break from like, chasing singles, doubles, triples. And all of a sudden you're really excited to take heavier weights again. And you have like another fire to re-engage.
And even then, you can just take heavy weights for a week. You don't have to keep dialing it up every week. And if you're not training for something, and the thing is, if there's a
Spinal Tap
day,
11.
if there's a day that you don't feel like lifting, you don't fucking have to.
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
No, you don't,
I'm
dude.
here every day. So like, you know what, like if I'm like, I don't know if I really want to lift. And then like I get a text from one of my training partners like, hey, I'm not going to make it today. I'm like, whoo, fuck, wasn't going to lift anyway.
Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna have myself a monster.
But then you're not like, oh, I got to fucking train because, I got this coming up or I got this coming up. Just have fun with it. And then if you decide you want to, do, a powerlifting meet, Olympic lifting meet, Larping, and you can then you can start to dial everything in, but you can maintain a very adequate strength level
Yeah.
and not have to get crazy.
Like I don't have a
Very true.
contest planned, and not even within the next 6 months. I have everything with the house and making sure things get done, and that's a massive focus of mine right now. But the way I've been training, that Clint's had me train, is to essentially be in shape enough and at a certain strength level that if at a whim Tanner's like, hey, next Saturday there's a show in town, I'm going to be there, do you want to do it? I could do it and be okay, right? And so I'm touching all the implements and doing everything, but I'm not focusing down and getting burned out on anything. I'm just enjoying training, right?
It's kind of that 90% thing, like Louis Simmons always talked about, being at 90%, which really isn't super hard to do
Yeah.
for the most part, to stay at like 80 to 90% of maximal strength at all times.
No.
That 10% distance is a lot of work, though.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah, but the time
hardest-
you're really tapping into it. If you're a competitor, you're tapping into it 3 times a year at most if you're not a dummy.
Yeah.
So the rest of the time, like you're within this kind of manageable range.
The hardest part though is like if you take any time off and your numbers dip and you start going back up, like I'm super impatient. Like my number was
I've
there.
noticed.
Yeah. Like when someone asks me for percentage, like I'm always like on the high side of it. Like,
but what the nice thing is, once you've gotten to a certain level of strength, and I mean, all of a sudden your muscle memory and your ability to come back to that number is tremendously faster than if you were just someone starting.
people
Yeah, it is.
like people talk shit like there isn't a muscle memory.
100%, dude.
It's
been-
100%. It's like I can still do a bar muscle up. Like who was talking shit like a couple weeks ago when I did it?
And you probably haven't done one in 2 years.
No.
Yeah.
Like I haven't
But
done
like
one
you
since
still have
CrossFit.
the strength. That's more like you always have that strength.
It's just the neuromuscular.
That's it. Well, like there's been a bunch of studies that have been done. And if you look up Andy Galpin, he's got a bunch of study of like essentially like your DNA changes in your muscle fibers. So like when you build the capacity, say to bench, 360, it's there, right? It's like your body remembers like, hey, I have to do this, and in order to do this, I need to be this strong and this big, right? And if you go an extended period of time where you actually suffer from some muscle atrophy, and then you start training again, like your DNA in your muscles is different from when you could bench 360. So like your body's like, oh shit, I know what we need to do. I need to get bigger here and stronger here and more efficient. And like your ability to close that gap is less than someone who started training at the same time as you, but has never like benched that before. Yeah. Like even if you guys were the same like body weight and same stuff, like you'll get there quicker.
I think the same thing is expecting a certain amount of stress level and knowing how to manage it to handle heavier weights, I think is a big part of it too. Like,
so I was listening to him the other day. He was talking about, so there's hypertrophy, and then what is when you actually increase the amount of muscle fibers you have? What's that called?
getting jacked.
Like there's the breaking down and building of, and then there's the increasing of. He started talking about it, but it was like, he's like, I'm not going to get into this right now. I'm like, well, that's actually like,
you increase the cross section of the muscle fiber is what you're talking about. And it's called hyperplasia.
Okay. Hyperplasia.
I believe
That's why he owns a gym.
yeah. I believe it's hyperplasia.
No, I think you're right.
Like where your muscle fiber actually gets bigger versus building more muscle.
No, like you're basically adding muscle fibers.
You're just increasing the strength of the cross sections of it. You're increasing the strength of the muscle fiber.
That's got to be.
What's hypertrophy?
I thought that was what hypertrophy was.
JB.
It was like building more muscle, because like the hypertrophy gets you that big look, but doesn't make you stronger. Where I think the hyperplasia that Brett's referencing
that increases like the density of it.
would be more along the lines of like
I could have heard it wrong.
along the lines of like a powerlifting thing, because you can get stronger without getting essentially bigger. Because like
no, you definitely
people stay in that same weight class, relatively same body fat percentage and stuff.
What do you weigh right now,
Get
Tanner?
stronger, right?
238.
What is Worlds?
242. But I think
I
they
just
might
gonna stay
cancel
around,
it.
be comfortable like this, and then it's smart.
I hate cutting. I hate feeling like crap.
I hate
You
that.
hate cutting weight.
Yes.
I've literally been between 220 and 225 for probably 5 years.
When I was in high school.
So here's our definite. Hypertrophy refers to the increase of the size of the individual fibers. Hyperplasia refers to an increase in the number of muscle fibers.
That's what I was saying.
So the cross section of the muscle, the increase in the muscle fibers.
Okay, so if you were going to work on hyperplasia, what would your rep scheme or workout?
Well, I think that's more your absolute strength.
So that's like your one rep.
Maybe that's what it's. Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna because that was always Louis' thing. He always liked to keep the reps low like that because he didn't want the lifters to put on size to get into a different weight class. Mm-hmm. So by training heavy, you're increasing the strength of that. You know what I mean? You're increasing the cross section of your more muscle fiber.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that's more of your like raw one rep power.
Yeah, you're like 1 to 3 reps where you're doing like absolute strength versus like your rep work where you're building size.
Yeah.
Because that was, like I said, that was always his deal, was trying to keep guys in weight classes.
Yeah.
You know, so he could. That's why he didn't do a lot of rep stuff.
Yeah, you do a bunch of that volume work, and you just start expanding that muscle fiber.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of volume
because the more
work.
muscle, and then as the muscle belly, you know that as far as nutrition wise, you're just going to hold more water.
Right.
You know, so that doesn't do any good either when you're trying to. Which I mean, it makes a weight cut a little bit easier, I guess, if you just hold more water. But yeah,
I have a nutrition question too. 2 questions. First one is, what's your favorite vegetable, Tanner?
we're not fucking doing this.
Least favorite vegetable, you dumbass.
No, he
I'm
wants to know
asking your
favorite.
favorite.
your
I asked
favorite.
favorite.
Broccoli.
What's your least favorite?
Joe Biden.
Oh,
Fucking, you had to open that up.
but I took
You
your
like broccoli?
the
What about
Cowboys?
asparagus? I actually have
dude.
grown.
Broccoli just blows me out.
I've grown to like asparagus more and more over the years, especially like a good like.
Slathered in butter.
Well, especially like a good grilled one where it's crispy.
Yes.
And I had
Oh
some-
yeah, for sure.
So like the little one, like the little asparagus. Like
Well, I had a full-
thin
I like
ones.
the baby, like the full.
I like the thin ones that like my wife roasts them and like puts like everything bagel seasoning on them and like spray some oil on it.
Yeah, when they're
And they
crispy.
get like crispy. Yeah.
But I had at a friend's house the other day, I had some pickled asparagus, and that was
nice.
pretty fucking solid. There's a company that makes them, and they make pickled green beans too.
I like
And they're
them
good, too.
roasted. I love like roasted or grilled, like little char on it.
The most disgusting is Brussels sprouts by far.
No way.
I like them with syrup
no.
on there in the oven.
Dude, they just
Yeah.
they have a bad
Yeah.
aftertaste, dude.
nah.
Brussels sprouts can be good. Roasted, honey.
Bad aftertaste, bro.
Honey,
So here's my
sriracha.
other
You're a bad
question, right?
aftertaste.
Because
That's fine.
so
How do you know?
vegetables
did
are
talk about
not
you
this
blowing
fun to
both
talk
of these.
about.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares about vegetables. So let's move on. My other question is, I think that I've had so many nootropics in me today that I might die. Is that real?
No, you're fine.
So I had your. I'm just kidding. I did feel like shit for a minute though after I had that other energy drink in here, but I had your pre-workout before I trained, and I sat down in here and I was like, oh, I'd never had one of these energy drinks in here, and it was nootropics and all this stuff. I'm like, I think I'm gonna die of like a brain aneurysm eating too many.
Nah.
Now you're good.
Dude, those aren't good. And I'm going to throw that under the bus. That guy's like a legendary guy.
Yeah,
But
they're
I'm sorry, but dude,
disgusting.
Jocko's energy drinks do not waste your money. They are fucking disgusting.
They're
There's
bad.
one flavor that I found was good. The rest of them, I'm like, meh.
Dude, and Matt was
So-
nice enough to bring me some, and I was like, I don't know if I want to tell him. And he's like, no, they're fucking trash.
That's why I brought them to you.
Yeah, well, I think I got them because I super like.
Like, I think Jocko's a
Origin
cool guy.
is
and
an amazing
What Jocko
energy
stands
drink.
for and
Yeah.
does is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Like, but
Origin
dude,
Main and what they're trying to do with Origin, and I was like, all right, so Jocko Fuel and all that stuff is associated with it. Sure, we'll give it a run. Mostly, I went that route because I was drinking so much fucking caffeine. I needed to find something that had less caffeine but was still carbonated. So
Oh, I was
like,
going to
yeah,
say, does that not have
we'll
caffeine?
do those.
in
It has like 95 milligrams, so it's
so
to
that's
me that's
zero.
nothing. That's
That's
nothing.
zero.
yeah,
That's
it's
like,
like a monster, bro.
Yeah.
It's like-
It's 160.
Monsters is 150.
Yeah.
So anyways, they had like some big sale. Plus, they had like you got one free, buy two get one free in the sale. So I was like, cool. I'm gonna
I
try all
wonder
these
why they
flavors.
had a banging sale.
Right. So I got all this stuff, and yeah, there's like one or two flavors that I'm like, all right, this is good, and the rest of them I'm like, no.
but they all
I
still have
don't.
the same weird aftertaste.
That's
Well,
freedom.
that's what when he said it was so bad, I tried it, and for a split second, I was like, "This tastes just like orange Gatorade, fucking medicine." Like it was hitting
Yeah.
me right away. It's not good.
Yeah, and I'm not ashamed of it. I had a watermelon Alani, and that fucking thing was good, dude.
What's the story about that brand?
They're supposed to be like formulated for like women is like their big thing.
That's why you liked it.
Dude, it's 90 milligrams of caffeine. You should look into it.
Makes so
Okay,
much sense.
yeah.
But have you had any? Have you had them?
No.
All of a sudden, he's in Downward Dog, and he's like,
Dude, that watermelon, that motherfucker is killer, dude.
One of my cucumber eye covers.
"Yeah, I'd love to see the skin treatment."
Yeah, and
I
it's
love
fine.
it when they
So-
say like shit's formulated for.
Yeah, it's
like,
not really. It's just it's got
Really?
like they put carnitine in it. It's supposed to be for women.
Yeah.
But no, they're good.
Really? That's a thing.
No.
That's why I think that was
I
their
mean, they
ad.
message it that way, I guess.
But weird story. Where I drank it at was
Well, you getting your nails done?
no. Here's the best part. When I was drinking it, I was at the
No.
fucking sprint car races.
Oh
While you're
shit!
crushing down some fried gizzard.
So the guy who had some, he drinks it, and I was like giving him shit, and he was like just like joking around because I've had them. They're like pretty decent. But he grew up next door to the girl who like started all that.
Cool. Yeah.
Because she's like some.
Does this make it better, worse? What are
No,
we
he
doing?
goes,
Okay.
dude, I got a supporter, and he goes, and they're fucking super good. I'm not gonna lie.
I just poured out into a glass on the rocks, put some vodka in there, colored.
But I guess the funny part is
Vodka's magic.
he walks around at work and drinks the Kim-Aid or whatever. It's like a Kim Kardashian's Alani. It's like
What?
pink lemonade, but it's in a fucking pink can.
You know, my favorite energy drink back in the day was cigarettes.
That's
They're
everybody
great.
knows the best energy drink ever made was Spike, the original flavor.
Oh yes,
No dose.
We've talked about that one.
That's not an energy drink.
Jolt Cola.
Oh yeah, but that was just like that was just the Coca-Cola syrup you
That's
were
like
drinking.
the stuff that
Oh, dude.
that Derek can afford.
I wish that I could have tried Coca-Cola when they used to put cocaine in it back in the day.
Me too. Yeah.
I bet
Just
that
get
was.
some Coke and dump it in there.
I bet that was a real.
Have you seen the brand? I think it's a clothing brand. At least it's just called Cocaine Everywhere, and they have these
Who do you hang out with now?
That sounds like an
metal
Instagram
drummers. No, so it's a metal band thing. I guess it's kind of whatever. But these guys are wearing these shirts and hoodies that it's always like this really pretty backdrop of the snow falling, and there's like a cat or a bear that's just fucking wired. You know, it's awesome. It's a hilarious clothing brand.
I was just thinking this other day, like I want to see what like some like crazy leftist. I want to see what their newsfeed looks like, and now I'm interested in what his newsfeed looks like.
It's
Like
usually
he's got some weird shit on there.
my
His history is probably
algorithm
soup's weird.
is it's mostly metal
all-
band shit,
It's all on incognito.
history, guns,
Yeah.
strongmen, which is kind of a weird mix because when you start putting all that together, like, oh, you're like fat, sweaty dudes and weapons and like prepper stuff.
Well, maybe it's just because you Googled fat sweat.
And Horn Pub.
Horn pub.
I've never Googled fat, sweaty dudes. I have strong, fat,
Bullshit.
sweaty dudes. Because the regular ones are not interesting to me.
Speaking of fat, got some stuff we haven't tried yet, but I got spray Wagyu tallow.
I
Oh,
did.
cool.
I did give it a.
You sprayed it in your mouth?
Yeah.
You're a fucking weirdo, dude.
Is it good?
It tastes like Wagyu.
But yeah, it's spray.
Like it's.
Oh.
And I got a flat rock now. Amber
Is
got
it
me one
an
for anniversary,
aerosol
so I'm
or
in
like
the
a
fucking
spritzer thing?
I'm in the
Yeah,
flat rock
aerosol.
gang. It's an aerosol. Like, have you ever used like
like
Lodge?
the duck spray or something like yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like
okay.
Lodge makes a spray you can spray like on your griddle when you're done with it.
Yeah.
It's in that same style spray bottle, but it's Chud's Barbecue is obviously getting paid by them.
Are you just
They didn't add-
spraying what, like both sides of whatever you're cooking? And
No, I'll probably just spray it on there and then throw my fucking meat down on there.
okay, so you're cooking. Okay,
Cook
And
with
he'll
it.
cook with it.
got it.
So, okay, you went from Blackstone to Flat Rock.
Yeah, I got a flat rock now.
You're cooler now.
At
Well,
least.
obviously, I have 3 Traegers in my backyard.
I mean-
have you not seen that video where the guy's washing his Traegers? And he's like, my wife's so lucky.
lucky.
She married to a guy with 3 Traegers.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Mike,
have-
I'm still waiting for my third one.
When I said that to Amber, I sent it to her, and she was like, well, you technically have 4 because I have the one here at the gym.
You do.
But then I have the green egg in my backyard, too. That's if my deep
Where-
down core inside
I found-
prepper. If we ever lose power, I have a green egg.
I found a Traeger trailer that has 4 of the
XLs.
yes, 3 of the XLs. They're not the Timberlines, the Ironwoods.
Oh,
Three
because
of
I
the
saw
new-
one back that has like the original XL, like I have.
No, this one has 3 of the new Timberwood, right? Timberwood XLs.
Timberline.
Or no,
Ironwood.
Ironwood. 3 of the Ironwood XLs and 3 of the like Traveler ones. So you have like a Ironwood and then a Traveler right next to it on the back, and you have the same setup on the sides.
Like the little traveler like I have, the little
Yeah, like the
Scout.
little thing and stuff.
Or
And-
Ranger or whatever.
Yeah, and so the guy that has it says that he uses that to like get up to like a sear if they're going to do like some steaks.
Yeah,
or
because you can
something.
put it. They come with a sear plate.
Yep, and so he'll use it for that, or they'll have like some cold smoke stuff going on or something next to it.
I think
yeah.
the flat rock thing, or is that what it's called, right? Flat rock. So the only thing I really want to make on that is just a giant hash brown and bacon egg breakfast every
pretty good.
morning.
Dude, you can make everything on there. You can, if you got to make like a bunch of meat for
Love.
the week, you can put like fucking 8 pounds of meat on there and just cook it at like ground.
Yeah, like hella
all of the
burgers.
time.
I don't. Do you guys ever do Asian food?
I do fried rice.
I do, go figure.
Fried rice on it.
Doing that on the. Well, I'm poor, so I
Yeah,
have
we know.
Blackstone.
What?
That's not true at all. He's not.
He's not poor.
I am cheap.
That's
That's different than
That's
yeah.
That's true. I am cheap.
I saw a homeless
By my-
guy, random. Sorry,
My
I know that.
$16
With the Gucci
Amazon
belt?
shorts.
Did I send you the picture in San Antonio? I was going to this thing, and there was this homeless dude, no shirt, sunburned as a motherfucker, had like ripped up. I mean, he looked rough, but he had the nicest pair of Jordans on,
Of course he did.
and I was like, this drip. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about the
Oh,
drip.
did you just fucking say drip?
There's
You
a-
are
I'm trying.
too
I was
fucking
trying.
old to say drip.
I would. Duh. I know that. That's why I said that.
There's a bunch of yard signs.
Totes for
north,
dick, bro.
Like 72nd and Sorensen. There's a bunch of yard signs up there that are advertising drip fitness.
Oh god.
Is that like a STD?
Maybe I don't know.
Sweet.
All right,
a
so back
number.
to Asian food.
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah,
I don't know if we've made it. My sister's made it on her Black Rock. I know. I'm trying to think if Amber and I have though. But
Right.
Like
rice.
so, like you know, like
Old
when you
rice
go
is
and you get the
important.
like crispy, like like you cut the chicken up, like little teriyaki, you get that little crisp on it. Man, yes, you can just do a shit ton.
Yeah.
Or get the pepper jack steak.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's
Which you can buy that like pepper jack steak type meat from.
They have it at Costco.
It's 1
They have
minute
it at
steak.
Costco. They have
quick
it.
steaks.
I've
or
seen it
whatever.
at Hy-Vee. It's like
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, that's
$6
where I get
a
it.
pack or something.
It's
I don't
the
remember
exact-
what it is.
it's the
Yeah,
exact same-
they have the
same
chicken
shit.
and the steak. They're both really good.
Yeah.
So the guy actually patented the beef first. So that's actually the same stuff.
And it
they
used
use
to come
in
with a seasoning packet.
It does.
They
It
do, and
still does.
Yeah, so
Does it still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they give you like fucking
Yeah.
nothing.
It's actually honestly, I think it's too much. Like if you
It
add the
is
whole
nothing.
pack,
Get the fuck
No,
outta here.
I
but the
actually
seasoning, I
That's why we
I
kicked you
prefer
off.
it without it. Honestly, yeah. I think
What
it's
is
That's why
better.
we're
wrong
gonna hit
with
the
you?
applause button when we're done with him.
hit the.
Can we
button.
mute him?
I can actually, but we're
So I figured out like I was like Googling
Pass
how to
those
make
down.
it.
Without?
Pass those.
Like,
yeah.
what do you put on it?
Not entirely without,
Like
but like
spit and hope?
pass those to Tanner because he's a trash man.
the trash is way over there. He's not gonna be able to reach that.
Yeah, you can.
Gotta
Yeah,
get her-
great
anyway.
mobility.
Freaking season like a white person over there. Let's put some freaking salt on our mac
Put some
and
ketchup
cheese.
on the steak.
Anyway,
Right.
so
If there's less than a grain
No,
of
it's
salt
not.
per meal, I don't want it.
It's. I think it's too salty with the
There
whole
is not
packet
a
on there.
thing as no.
No.
I'm telling you,
that's what they use the
Do you
same
like
amount
movie
when you go
popcorn?
to the place.
I don't like
It's
popcorn.
that,
really.
but that little amount's not enough.
Well, you
Like
don't
I
eat
figure out how to
movie
make
popcorn
it
for
so
the
I can just
popcorn. You
like
eat it for
douse
the
my
butter and
shit.
the salt. Like chips. Nobody likes chips. They like nacho cheese. The chip is just a vessel to get the nacho cheese in your mouth.
Like, are you
Depends
gonna
on
eat
the
a
chips,
tortilla chip with no salt on it?
No.
Fuck
Well,
no.
How about a
Dude, the hint of
spoon?
lime ones and the hint of jalapeno ones were fucking money.
But they also.
Oh,
have
those were
salt.
great.
Well, yeah.
Those are like a Walmart brand.
Oh, speaking of chips, I think we're out on the one chip challenge. People are dying. They're taking them off the shelves.
Dude, one kid died. Oberst.
I watched it. I watched it where he poured the milk out and he's like, I'll fucking die before I drink this.
Right.
Is this new? Is this recent?
No, they did it like
was
a
up
year
while
ago or
back,
something.
But it's really great. They're like
So
sitting around
I
Shaw's
figured,
kitchen.
here's the thing, Brett. Like, me and Nicole were talking about this. I was like, well, if me and Brett go down, Matt can save us. Like, he's trained.
So you know what?
But if
I
Matt
think they
goes
did?
down, he's dead.
Here's what I think they did, though. I think when the ones that Oberst did and Brian Shaw did, that was the older one in the red pack.
Okay.
But they change them, and now this newest one has like the Viper peppers. So I wonder if they keep adding. We talked about that. It's like that chili seasoning. What's it called? It starts with a C. I can't remember what it's called. But I wonder if they're
Catastrophe.
yeah. So I wonder if they keep trying to push the level of making it
And they
too hot.
They hit it.
Scovilles.
And they got too
So
far.
how
they
did
got
the
it?
kid die? Just anaphylactic.
Well, I don't know because they
shock?
said he felt better, like, and then he like kind of fucking something happened. He died.
I'd imagine you have to have some kind of pre-existing condition to die. Eating
Well, and what's that
something
called?
spicy.
Like Jeff was talking, Firefighter Jeff, where you get like overexcited. Like sometimes people get arrested or, and they almost
Oh, yeah.
hyperventilate and they give themselves like cardiac arrest.
Fuck.
Bad luck. I don't remember.
Yeah, but it's got a name. But yeah, so he's like, it could have been something like, but yeah, no, I think if we could get the old like red ones like that Shaw and those guys, I'm thinking that because they started pulling them off the shelves.
Those are the
you
ones
could
that came
just
in
start
the
by
casket.
eating
right?
a habanero and just. See how
We
that
are
goes.
highly trained athletes.
That's true.
We're not some little 14-year-old.
But yeah, I think that we're have to if we get some of the old ones maybe.
we have to go first just in case we go down. Matt can save us.
Yeah,
We should do it today, right now.
But yeah,
You
if we
guys
did,
should.
if we did
I've
the
got my
old
medic bag in the car. Like we're good.
You got one of those like.
I wonder if I can DoorDash a chip
Do you
to
have,
here.
do you
I might
have
have
a
an AED
do you have
in
a
there.
zit
No.
here? You probably should.
You got the attachment for the phone, right? You just hook up your phone to the pads and
No, I don't have any of those.
You probably really should have.
Isn't that illegal?
don't die here.
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
Just-
I don't know. Why are we talking about legalities with things on this? This isn't a fucking.
I did.
I didn't say anything about anything.
No,
like
I did. I just said, is that legal?
What?
To not have one, an AED.
See,
Shut
and this
the
is why
fuck
you
up,
should have
Mike.
muted him.
This is why you got kicked out.
God damn it!
I'll buy you one for Christmas
Oh God.
after I get his Traeger. But yeah.
like the story Mike moved was Mike got kicked off the fucking show.
That's why he moved. It's pure sadness. Is why he
See,
moved.
this is why we're so friendly and good friends. Yeah.
You know, back to the flat rock though. I do think it holds heat better than the Blackstone. I can't decide. I would ran it hot because I seasoned it, but I felt like it did. But Amber's like maybe just because we seasoned it.
yeah.
How many did you do like the 4 times?
Yeah, I think it did 4 times, so it ends up being almost an hour. But there's no wind to blow your flame around.
Right. Well, I
That's
mentioned
a
like,
bonus.
something's up with mine. Like something got plugged in there. I haven't pulled the
probably a
the
mouse in
grill
there.
off thing there.
Gross.
Probably. There's mice that live in my grill, and I used to open the lid to like just check on it, and now I just turn it on. I'm like, fuck you guys. And so I burned a couple of them alive, and I'm like, well, we'll just flip those off to the side. And
Scrape
start
the grate,
cooking.
we'll
yeah,
go.
Yeah, and we start cooking.
It gets the temp.
I mean, yeah, I don't cook until it gets to 600. So I'll get to 600, and then if I turn it back down, that way I know that they're cooked off.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do you have chickens? Do you have chickens?
He has 20 chickens.
That's what I thought. I didn't know if you're still doing
40.
it.
You have 40 now?
Yeah.
We have 20 that are laying, and another
Oh.
20 that are like in the process of growing up.
Okay.
That's cool.
But you know, on the
Your wife's a
Traeger
chicken
end,
farmer.
She is.
yeah. You know, we talk about the Traeger Ranger. That is a highly overlooked thing. I think if you're like in a smaller family, like
Is
if
it
you
the
just have,
suitcase one?
yeah, that one I got.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
like if it's just you and your wife, or if you have like 1 or 2 kids maybe, and you don't want to burn a bunch of fuel, like turn it on your bigger one, dude. That thing you can fit like, I think I fit 8 chicken thighs on it,
That's awesome.
and you can cook. It gets up like 400.
But like we got
quick.
the Green Mountain version for a friend of the show, and he fucking loves it.
His might be a little bit bigger actually too, but yeah, like if you really like to smoke the meats, and you don't like burn all the fuel, get a littler. Like I think it's like what $400 or something like that.
Yeah.
And you really like to do it, and you're going to use it, dude. Totally worth it because you can save so many pellets.
You know what they should do with
Mine
that thing,
doesn't
though?
burn. Mine doesn't burn through very many pellets.
But it's more than you think so because it's a bigger chamber you have to heat up to get the meat. Where that thing's only
Yeah,
like
just in general, like my
Well, I have the-
Timberline goes through pellets fucking crazy.
like the cooking space on this is
my
probably
Traeger's old.
like 8 inches by like 12 inches. You know what I mean? It's not like. And then the pellet box is actually inside the lid, so you can clip it shut and carry it like a briefcase.
My neighbor has a green egg, and when he goes out there to light it, he uses a flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Like full blown. Like I was sitting there and I was like, heard this. I look over, I'm like, "Yeah, I got a fucking flamethrower." He's like, "That's how I light my green egg." Like, that's freaking sweet.
I had to burn off a bunch of poison ivy and bullshit that was down by our fire pit, and so I just grabbed my propane tank and opened it up and just lit it, and just walked around holding the propane tank, just shooting out a 7-foot
shit.
flame.
This is why men die so early.
Burned everything off.
And he's a
sounds like
firefighter.
Yeah. I mean, I used one of those like extended grill lighters that has like the little 6-inch tip on it, because I'm not a dummy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, super safe. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah, it
remember
works
when
really
Elon
well.
when Elon made not a flamethrower?
Yes.
Yeah.
God, I wish I would have got one.
And he sold those.
I have
things
one of
out.
those hats. It's probably worth a fortune.
Palmetto State, I think for $5.89, you can get a flamethrower and a 2.6 gallon backpack.
We try to get Derek to
Really?
buy one.
I'm afraid it's going to suck back into the backpack.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's designed. No, it won't do that.
But you can get the undermount one for your AR too.
That'd be fucking cool.
I think it's only good for like 4 seconds though, or something like that.
This one will.
If
burn
you got a
for-
flamethrower,
This one will burn with the backpack for just over 4 minutes.
You know, they were marketing these things a while ago that it was
I'm gonna get one for my fucking driveway this winter.
well,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
the same one for the driveway that it was originally marketed to like kill your weeds and your rock beds and stuff. And then you start seeing guys with backpacks just smoking their.
I'm just thinking like home defense. Someone breaks in, you got a half-naked fat white dude throwing a 7-foot flame coming down the
But
hallway.
couldn't you just carry a propane? Get those ones that they use to like burn, like pre-burn wood. You know, like on a
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, right.
Can't you just get one of those on a propane tank and walk with it?
Yeah, I mean you can get one of those.
Yeah, that'd be. It'd
But I
probably
mean,
last longer.
it has the big nozzle on the end and stuff. But you got to take the tank with you, and you have to
can't
like,
you
light
just
it.
get your hairspray can and fucking lighter?
Maybe, but that's not nearly as cool. Like when the cops show up, I want them to like.
We used to
witness the
light a lot of
spectacle.
shit on fire.
Yeah.
So when I was a seasonal worker in high school, cleaning like shitters at a park, a public park, right? A buddy of mine and I we'd spend there was like 6 bathrooms to clean. We had 8 hours to do it and like cut the grass or whatever. So we would
After a heavy LARPing session.
yeah, we would just fuck around all day, right? And it was hilarious. But what we would take is like the Lysol that foamed up when you spray it. We would just have crates of it that the city would supply us to clean the bathrooms, and we would just make giant piles of this foam, and then we'd spray like a foam trail, and we just fucking light it and just watch it, boom.
They would have a
dude,
foam party first.
It was dude, it was so awesome,
nipple touching.
dude. It was a fucking trip, dude. Like we just always be blowing shit up. So if there was you know, like those big ass wolf spiders in the campground and shit, and they'd just be like hanging out in the shower, and we would just fill it with foam, and we would just nuke these spiders. It was a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, fires.
It's
Fire never gets old.
No, it doesn't.
We put 7 of those Coleman propane, like the little
The
small
little
ones.
tiny ones, yeah.
We put it in a porta potty
Oh dear.
and then dumped roughly 4 gallons of gasoline on top of it.
This is, by the way, not advice for everyone
and then
listening. So,
made a trail away from it that was not nearly long enough.
oh shit.
And then lit it, and we were like, "Oh, that's cool! Look!" And like the fire got in there and it starts burning. But like the plastic of a porta potty is relatively tough, so it'll hang up for a while. And they were like, "Oh, look, it's starting to melt."
Oh shit.
Just exploded and shot molten gobs of plastic everywhere, along with like a 7-mile tall fireball that was easily seen from every Sarpy County sheriff driving down Highway 370 at
From
3 a.m.
space.
Oh yeah,
How old are you when you did this?
Last
How old are
week.
you?
It's like
7th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade.
You're a fucking hoodlum.
dude, that's
Maybe.
and now he's like a firefighter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he knows what causes them.
We did tons of cool shit like
Like, hey,
that.
no, we got plenty of
Molten
time before this is going to
plastic.
blow up.
Yeah. We did tons of cool shit like that.
Oh yeah.
But it was like back, so like obviously parents would have frowned on that if they knew. Sorry, mom. But we also like we're starting to crack open like artillery shells.
Oh
to
yeah.
get the
pour that
gunpowder
shit
out
out.
because we're like, yeah, we'll do that. And
Yep.
we started doing that. And my buddy's dad comes home and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we told him, and he's like, why don't you just use black powder?
Yeah, Pyrex.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't have black powder. And he's like, you don't have any gunpowder? Like we were the dummies for not having black powder. And we're like, no. And he's like, get in. And so we hopped in his pickup and he drove us down to Guns Unlimited and bought a 5-pound can of gunpowder.
What's wrong with you?
for
You
us.
always need this
Took
on
us
you.
back and he's like, this will save you time. And so we ended up filling tennis balls with this gunpowder, taking fast wick on the inside, which we learned. Well, you tried using the green wick, but it burns too slow, so you don't get like like it doesn't all ignite at the same time.
Yeah.
Those
So
are
it just
also
kind of like fizzles out. So you put the fast wick in, then you have a slow wick on the outside. So we did that, and then I was making some after we did that, and it was like, hey, that was kind of neat. I was making some at home, And my dad asked me what I was doing, and he was like, "Oh, well, if you really want like a good bang, cover the tennis ball in glue and then wrap twine around it really tight."
Was it like a
Because
green beret or
it'll
something
give it like a
that?
higher compression. No, he's just a hoodlum. But he's like, it'll give it a higher compression ratio, so you get like a bigger bang. And I was like, all right, cool. So we did that. Took him down to our little like creek area. So we had this area that we did a bunch of stupid shit, but we found this like 4x8 sheet of like 1/2 inch steel or like 3/8 steel down there that we had tipped against the tree, and that was like our blast shield. And so we'd hide behind it, like throw these things over there. So we made those, and then I came home after we got done blowing ourselves up, and my dad was like, I had an idea. Like if you use this glue and this twine, but like before you do that, pour glue inside the tennis ball, roll it around, and then put BBs in there and roll it around. Like you can actually make a grenade. And I was like, that'll be cool. So of course we do that. We take it down there and we light it, throw it over this thing, and we're sitting there. And at the time that it should have gone off, it didn't.
Oh,
And so we're all sitting back there and we're like, well, fuck. There's like a real grenade on the other side of this piece of metal with a fuse that may or may not still be burning to a tennis ball full of black powder and BBs. What do we do? And so we just sit there and we're like, we should go. And it was like, we weren't quite ready to get out of there, but right about the time when we started thinking like, man, someone should go check or we should leave. It just goes boom and explodes. And you hear the BBs just tear through the tree above us, like hitting off the metal plate in front of us, and like leaves start falling down. And we're like,
hey, Matt, what's your favorite
yeah.
book? Oh, Anarchist Cookbook. That's my favorite.
Yeah, so we probably made
It's a
like
good
4 or
read.
5 of those, and we're like, okay, this is dangerous.
That's a
We did that, but we skipped ahead. So we did this when we were in high school. So more educated, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the Pyrex, and we took like 1/2 inch PVC pipe and put dimes in one end, duct taped it, drilled a hole in it for the wick, filled it full of Pyrex, put dimes in the other end, taped that shit.
yeah.
And then fucking lit it. And so my buddy, his parents owned a construction company. So we're like, okay, we'll throw it over here and we'll just go hide in this fucking building. So we light it. Boom! You hear the dimes like slamming off the building, and we go out, and there's just like a fucking 8-foot circle of grass just like cleared. There's like nothing there.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a good time though.
And smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was
Fire
like,
and
what
blow
if
shit's
one of
up always
these?
a good
I
time.
was like,
Cool,
what if one
like-
of these dimes just like shreds through the building?
But
yeah.
like, I just imagine my friends telling their kids, "You don't have any gunpowder."
Yeah, right.
What
kind of
the
parents
weirdo.
do you
I'm
have?
not the weirdo.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me you don't have any cigarettes either.
I mean, I don't know how you light anything if you don't have a cigarette.
Yeah.
But
What do you do? You don't have any?
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys smoke? Reds? What do you want me to get?
you want the filters? Nah, you don't want filters.
Yeah, those are fucking. That just slows you down. I used to know this meth head in Harlan, and he would always like cut the fucking filters off.
I didn't know you knew Kelly.
No, it wasn't. I said Harlan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he would always cut the filters off his cigarettes. That was the first time I was ever like, it was a friend of mine's relations, and we were like hanging out with him, and he just like pulls out this mirror, and like there's just like Coke there, and I was like, well, I've never seen that before, and we're like in 8th grade. I was like, cool.
So Kelly did say you got to mention me on this, right? So he was teasing me about my PR. I was happy about it. So he shot that dream down. He's like, I did that like 10 years ago, and I was like,
I did that when I was 40.
But I was like, yeah, but you were on meth, so
Yeah.
it was easier for you. And he was
Yeah,
just-
he didn't have that fear of dying.
We
Now he's a straight shooter, and he's fucking awesome.
we
Although
were,
we're out there talking to him, and he was like, "Well, yeah, so I was at this village in down here, and I beat up these dudes at like 3 a.m. So I got kicked out, and I'm pretty sure I got kicked out of that village in for beating up some dudes. And then like this Denny's over here, I remember I got kicked out. I don't remember why, but I know the girl I was dating at the time, she hopped up at the same time I did with like 2 forks, and she was ready to start stabbing
Dude, I
people.
fucking love him.
I was like,
He's
"What?"
incredible.
I'm down to IHOP.
Yeah. He can't even go to Hy-Vee anymore.
oh, that's true. We were in here fixing a piece of equipment. One of the guys was welding for me, and that smell of welding. And Kelly walks by. That smells like that time I held the lighter on the spoon too long.
I love him, man.
But you know
He's
what?
awesome.
He's such a good dude because he's like,
And he's jacked.
how many fucking years sober now and
Yeah.
helping people out.
Yeah.
But he's got some great fucking stories.
Yeah.
You know, I would not be like a young ass kid and look at him thinking, I'm gonna fuck this old dude up. Like, there's no way.
He's got that spooked horse look.
spooked horse.
I always call it the 1,000-yard stare, not a
Yeah.
horse look. But I guess it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's wild. This is fun. I'm hungry.
I know it's been a good time. Anybody else got anything they want to throw in here and talk shit to Mike before he goes?
No, I'll save it.
It's actually usually fairly decent when he's around.
I do miss you guys.
Fairly.
Oh, are we benching tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's a real question.
You know what?
For 360.
No, I am gonna deadlift and do.
I think
events
I
in there.
actually repped your PR and incline today.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Are you gonna train tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm gonna deadlift and do some event stuff. So we'll do that.
I'm going to box squat because I don't squat right
Like you squatted last time.
Oh man,
Man, my
that was
squat
funny.
has-
So like I go to get everything set up, and I get the boxes out, and I get the fucking other bar out, and I go squat towards the
Super
box,
slow.
really slow because my knees been fucking shit, and I get like that far from the box and just fall on it.
Yeah, your weak ass hamstrings.
No, the knees just gave out. The knees were just done. No, I
You
had
need-
not,
so-
like I was just it was like an air squat. It may have did I have the bar on or did I even have
You
the
didn't
bar?
have the bar. He just sat down, and Dominic and I are watching him. He's going down super slow, and he's like, "Oh, maybe he's a little stiff." And he gets down to the bottom, and he sits there, and he just kind of just puts his head down, like he's really contemplating life. And he just sits there, and it had to be at least. It felt like 4 minutes, but it was probably like 20, 30 seconds. Just sits there, reaches up, grabs the bar, pulls himself up, grabs the box, walks over, sets it back, and
You're
he's
just-
done.
I'm done.
I'm
I'm just
fucking
done.
pressing today.
That's why your overhead press is
It's a
great.
man that's giving up right there.
I will say,
My knees have been garbage.
I mean, it's not really a
I'm gonna
knee-
try it again, though.
Not like a knee situation, but if you don't have them, you need to get the Gateway briefs from Spud Inc. And I brought mine.
It's not. I mean,
It's his knees that are giant.
I know, not, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Is
do
it's
we
not
need
it's
to-
not a knee thing, but
can I
if,
put the briefs on? Just have wear the briefs around my knees.
right. But you should try them though, if just to play around with them. They're awesome.
I think I'm going to quit squatting. That's going to be the goal.
Amen.
I think, I'm just going to
could
box
do that.
squat to like.
I deadlift position to the toilet anymore.
I'm gonna
Just hit the wall.
I'm gonna box squat to like that high.
Easy, Ron. Yeah. You can go lower than that.
Fuck,
I'll see you tomorrow then.
getting older.
And then I'm
sucks.
flying back, and I'll hopefully never see you again.
I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah. Nice.
That was a good time.
Nice. That was good. He's been waiting.
Nah, it's good to have him around sometimes. It's good to see you.
It is good to see you guys.
I hope everything goes terrible in Texas and you move back, but it's fine.
I kept telling him, hey, you should sell all your shit, start a new gym down there. You have, rebuild it there, live on an acre, call her good.
Nah.
It's not a good business plan, but that was my approach. I have nothing to offer for it, and I won't help him, but he can live there.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't even come to the gym. He'd probably have a membership somewhere else.
This other place I was just talking about, these guys are real great.
Go to that gym with the 640 deadlift PR.
That was at the Atlanta one. The one at this other gym, it's 831.
That's acceptable.
Conventional 831.
With briefs
No.
Straps.
Straps, yes.
from an 18-inch deadlift position.
No. Conventional from the floor.
Did you see it?
I saw the video, but I've seen him, the guy that pulled it.
Does he look like he
Could
can
you
pull?
see if there was people on the other side of the bars helping him stand up with it?
No.
Like, is
It
the
was a good
bar
pull,
bent
man.
like a frown or a smile?
The guy's a fucking athlete, dude. Spencer Tyler. He's
Were you showing me the video, or one of you guys, the guy who was like repping, like looked like 8 plates in bench?
It's a
They were
fake
taking
shit,
them
right?
off. Yeah, it had to have been. But the guy's
Yeah.
like throwing the weight on the side, and the weight's like bouncing like a
I think
tank.
like a Brad Castleberry video or something.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, or if you're watching an elite video, a lot of times Dave will have like 8 25s on there.
Well, this guy was not saying it was 25s.
Oh. Yeah, Dave will put like 25s on there and just fucking do reps that way.
It's been a hot minute, but at some point I priced out aluminum weights, and they're not too bad.
Just hang a bunch of Reynolds wrap on there. And just draw lines down it. So it looks like a fucking weight.
looks
Just a
super
big
real.
a big fucking barrel of yeah.
All right, well, it's a good time. It's good to have him on here. Sponsored by Elite Fitness Omaha, or Elite Nutrition Omaha. Elite Nutrition Omaha. You guys do, we talked about last week, you guys ship worldwide, right?
Yeah.
All right. EliteNutritionOmaha.com. They'll ship anywhere. So even if you don't live here, you can still order from them.
$50 free shipping.
There you go. That's not a bad deal, really.
That
'cause,
really is
like, you can't buy anything for under $50 from that place. It's a fucking racket. Omaha Barbell, the real Midwest Mecca, obviously where we record from. We appreciate you guys listening.
And Matt.
And Matt.
And yeah.
Yeah. If you don't follow us, like, subscribe. We didn't get a YouTube video out last week. We had some technical difficulties. We've been doing some experiment with some different cameras, so this was a little better today.
We're like the gym bros with 3 cameras set up.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
killing it.
But no training. It's
No.
just
Well, we appreciate you guys listening. We want to thank Mike for coming on. Like I said, it's always a good time.
Yep, love you
Thanks,
guys.
Mike.
And we'll see you guys next time.